Now I'm going to be making up some pork kebabs. Now as an alternative to pork, you could use lamb or you could use chicken. It's entirely up to you. Now what we're going to do is make a really simple marinade. Now the marinade is going to have a sort of slight Moroccan theme because the spice we're going to use is ras el hanout, which is a really nice sort of fragrant, warming spice from Morocco, and it's absolutely scrummy when it's mixed with your garlic and we've got lemon, and it all just comes together and makes something scrummy. Now the good thing about this, you can cook it on your barbecue or you can do it under your grill, your broiler, and it's just wonderful. Leave it to marinate 6 hours overnight and you've got something delicious. So give it a go. So for making up these kebabs, I'm just going to go through the ingredients I'm going to use. Now I've got myself my pork there. This is pork tenderloin. In terms of weight, mine weighs a total of 1 kilogram. Now as an alternative to pork, as I say, you could use chicken, maybe chicken breast, or you could use lamb. Now with this pork tenderloin, it's really good for, you know, putting on the grill, under the grill or on the barbecue, and it's got a little bit of fat in there, so I find it's really good for making up your kebabs. Now what I'm going to do is cut it into like little cubes, if you like, little squares, 2 centimetres or so, you know, for each piece roughly. Now with the sort of marinade, that's really simple. We're going to use this spice here. I've got 4 tablespoons, that's a big spoon, of ras el hanout. That's a sort of Moroccan style spice, nice and fragrant, and it's a warming spice. It's just absolutely lovely for making up this marinade. 6 tablespoons, again the big spoon. I'm using olive oil, but if you haven't got that, just use whatever oil you've got. Salt and pepper seasoning, because you do need to season the meat. And then I've got 2 lemons. Now with the lemons, I'm going to zest the outside, the yellow bit, leave the white bit, the pith behind, because that's a little bit sour. So zest the 2 lemons on the outside, and then again squeeze the juice of 2 lemons as well. 4 cloves of garlic, peel those, crush them and add it in the mix. And then finally we've got some fresh parsley. Chop it up nice and fine. All that gets mixed together in a bowl, and that's your marinade, nice and simple. So there's the ingredients, nice simple ingredients. So let's prepare the marinade. So now I've got everything prepared. Now with the pork, I've chopped that up into nice little cubes there. Now I am just going to season that first of all with some salt and freshly ground black pepper. That'll do us. Now I'm going to move that aside, and then we're going to start making up this marinade. So for making up the marinade, it doesn't really matter on the order you do it. I've got the crushed garlic there, so just pop that all in. And we've got the lemon zest. Doesn't look like you get much, but oh, it packs of flavour. Ras el hanout, the spice. And we might as well go in with the oil. Lovely. And we've got the lemon juice. And then finally, the chopped up parsley. And there you go, that is the marinade. Now let's just give that a quick stir, get it all mixed up, all combined. And that is ready to go over the meat. So what I'm going to do now is get myself, I'm going to use a shallow sort of dish, and I'm going to put the meat in there, and we're just going to pour that marinade over the top, and then it can be wrapped up and popped in the fridge. Then with the marinade, I am just literally going to pour that over, because we'd always give it a bit of a mix up in there. Try and get it all combined, so just get that all in there like that. Lovely. If I just grab myself that fork and just move that around. I mean, I'm using a shallow dish because then it, you know, it's all sitting in the marinade nicely, and I want to really get those flavours into that pork. Oh yeah. So give that a good stir, and then once you've done that, what we're going to do is to put a bit of cellophane over it. And as I say, you want to leave it in the fridge 6 to 8 hours, or if you can, even leave it overnight. So, you know, make it the day before, come back, and it's ready to cook up. So there we are. Now what I'm going to do is, when it's in the fridge with the cellophane, 2 or 3 times, if you can, just come back and, you know, give it all a bit of a mix around, then put the cellophane back on and then leave it in the fridge. So let's grab me cellophane, pop that in the fridge. So give it, you know, a couple of stirs now and again. If you can, 6 to 8 hours or overnight. So I'll see you later on and then we're going to cook it up. So I've taken the piece of pork out of the fridge and say they've had overnight. Now what I'm going to do is get myself, I'm going to use metal skewers and I'm going to put the piece of meat on there, lay them on a baking tin and I'm going to pop them under the grill. So let's get a baking tin and put those pieces of meat on there. That's it. Ooh. Now what I say is when you put them on there, on the skewers, leave a little bit of a gap so not too crowded. Like that. Lovely. That'll do. That's one skewer, all done. So I'll do that with all the rest. Now with the pieces of pork, I put them on the metal skewers there, so they are ready to go. Now in the background, I've just switched my grill on, the broiler, and I've got it on about medium heat. So once that comes up to temperature, I'm going to place those under the grill, get them cooking. So I'm doing mine under a medium grill. I would say 10 to 15 minutes. If you can, turn the piece of meat round. So, you know, turn the skewers round, try and build up the colour, make sure they're nice and tender and cooked. So 10 to 15 minutes, then we're going to pull them out, serve them up. Now with a piece of pork, I've had mine in there just slightly longer than 10 minutes and I reckon they're done. This kitchen, oh, it's smelling so good. And look at these kebabs. Now I'm going to pull those out because they look done to me. Look at those. They look scrummy yummy. Put them on the table. I'm going to serve mine up and try some. Now I've had the kebabs cooking under the grill, medium heat, 10 or 12 minutes. I reckon they're done. Now I'm going to bring myself a plate there. Now these skewers are going to be hot because they are metal. And I'm just going to place them on there. Now with the kebabs, just going to dress them up a little bit. Got some fresh parsley there. Gives it a bit of colour, a little bit of flavour. If you present that, you've got something good. I'm going to sort of put mine with a little bit of couscous on a plate and try some. Now I'm just going to serve up those pork kebabs. I'm going to serve mine up with a little bit of couscous there. So let's get some of that on the plate. And we got one of these beautiful kebabs. Ooh, look at that. Now, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to take it off the skewer. And obviously any of that sauce you've got, you can pop that in there as well. A little bit of parsley on top. If you want to add a little bit extra. Let's try a bit of. Ooh. Mmm. Oh. Mmm. Mmm. Do you know pork hasn't got a lot of flavour in itself, but with that spice, ras al hanout. Ah, that is delicious. You really can't go wrong. And say you could use chicken, you could use lamb. It's up to you. Enjoy. Thanks for watching my videos. I'll see you in the next one. The original Naked Chef.